Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you for second day of this Navratri special talk we are going to discuss. Let's begin today's session by offering prayers to Srila Prabhupada and to their lordships. Please join me. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Once again, I welcome all of you for today's special talk, Navratri special by folk. This Navratri Dasara is famous for burning Ravana. On Vijayadashami day, it is quite popular in our country for Ravan Dahan. What is this Ravan Dahan? In our life, there is a Ravana mentality in all of us. Bhagavad Gita, 16th chapter, Lord Krishna says, divine and demoniac nature of the living entities. So all of us have divine side of our existence. We also have demoniac side of our existence. So how do we eliminate the demoniac side and how do we enhance the divine side of our existence is the goal of the human form of life. If we increase the demoniac side of our existence, then we have to suffer more and more in this material world. By improving and enhancing the divine side, we will all be able to go back to spiritual world, which is our original constitutional position. Some of the demoniac qualities that are detrimental for our spiritual life are what the scriptures like Ramayana, Mahabharata tell us how to avoid them and not to repeat them in our life through some of the characters. Yesterday, we were discussing about Dasharatha's overconfidence, how it costed Shravana Kumara's life, and because of which Dasharatha had to go through a very serious curse that he will also die being separated from his son. So today, the second mistake, which is kind of a demoniac quality that we can all be cautious and we can all try to avoid in our life so that our divine nature gets enhanced, is that the quality of a comparison. This mistake of comparison in our life, we can learn from the character of Vishwamitra in Ramayana. I will tell you the story, and as we hear the story of Vishwamitra from Ramayana, we can all see our own life in that context and see how do we rectify ourselves from this cancer of the mind called comparison. And this pastime and this details of Vishwamitra is spoken by none other than Vishwamitra himself in Ramayana. Lord Rama asked Vishwamitra to tell him about the previous background, the previous life of Vishwamitra, means who he was before he became a Vishwamitra sage. When Ram was with Vishwamitra, on the way to Mithila city, this pastime happens. Vishwamitra narrates his previous activities as a Kaushika Maharaj. Kaushika Maharaj is the name of Vishwamitra before he became a sage Vishwamitra. Once this Kaushika, the king Kaushika or Kaushika Maharaj, he goes to forest for hunting. Again, similar situation like yesterday's. Dasharatha Maharaj also went on a hunting expedition. I already explained yesterday why kings used to go for hunting. So Kaushika also went for hunting, and in the forest, he was actually accompanied by thousands of soldiers. It is like 10,000 soldiers were with him. And they all got tired, fatigued. They were all looking for some basic facilities like place to sit down and feel better, and they wanted some water and all these things. And while they were searching for some kind of a basic help like this as water in the forest, they come across ashrama of sage Vasishtha. Vasishtha is one of the great sage that Ramayana talks about. Vasishtha was also Kula Purohita, or a family priest of Ikshvaku dynasty. He was very thickly connected with the kings like Dasharatha, Lord Rama, many sages, many kings in the Ikshvaku dynasty where Lord Rama appeared. So Vasishtha was living in that forest, and they all come to Vasishtha's ashrama and they say, "Hey, my dear sage, I'm a King Kaushika. I've come to this place for hunting, and there are my 10,000 disciples. We are all feeling very fatigued. We are feeling very thirsty. Could you please arrange some water for all of us?" And then immediately Vasishtha happily welcomed all of them. "Oh, please come, please come." Like, all of us, we see how when people come, we're not so happy to welcome the guest. But in the previous Vedic time, we used to see that how people used to be very happy welcoming any guest, any number. So Vasishtha said, "All of you, please give me a few minutes." And he went in next few minutes, 2-3 minutes, 5 minutes. He brought not just water, he brought Chappan Bhog, 56 items feast for Kaushika Maharaj and for all 10,000 people, the soldiers, for everyone he brought huge feast, Mrishtana Bhojana, Chappan Bhog, and nectar, water, milk, fruit juice, milkshake. And the king was flabbergasted. He was just expecting some water. And here Vasishtha is giving such a big treat. And Kaushika was shocked. He was surprised. And then he asked Vasishtha, "Hey Vasishtha, you are an ordinary sage living in the forest. And I am the king. I live in the palace. I live in a big city. And even if somebody come to my palace and ask me for this kind of a treatment, being a king, I will not be able to give this kind of a hospitality. How is that you are able to give?" Then Vasishtha said, "My dear King Kaushika, I have one special cow with me, and this cow name is Nandini. And she, Nandini, is a cow in the Vasishtha's ashrama. She is the daughter of the Surabhi cow. Surabhi cow, that is in the Goloka Vrindavana with Krishna. So she is the daughter of that. And this Nandini, she is a Kama Dhenu category. What do you mean by Kama Dhenu? Kama means desire, Dhenu means the cow. This cow can fulfill any desire. You just go stand in front of the cow and tell, "My dear cow, I've got 10,000 guests, and please give me 56 item feast for all of them," and the cow will immediately, instantly it will give you. So this is an extraordinary cow, and it was with Vasishtha because Vasishtha is a sage. He performs big yajnas. He requires ghee, he requires so many facilities to do yajna. So that is why it was there. And the moment Kaushika came to know about this Kamadhenu, this cancer of the mind got activated in his mind. What is that? Comparison. You see how he's already a king. King means, you can imagine, he has so many facilities. King lives in the palace. King has thousands of servants and so much of opulence and so all that he already has. And now his mind became interested in the Kamadhenu. and he started feeling very bad about himself. In fact, Kaushika said, what is the use of my life if I don't have Kamadhenu in my life? Look at this. Many times we also do the same thing. Some people, they say, oh, what is the use of my life if I don't have iPhone, iPhone 13, whatever is released now. So you already have so many things in your life, and now your mind will not focus on what you have. Now it focuses on what you don't have. This is the symptom of comparison. Comparison means no satisfaction, no peace of the mind, no happiness. Immediately it will keep you unhappy, dissatisfied, and keeps you disturbed. Now Kaushika Maharaj became very disturbed. I don't have Kamadhenu. I'm a king. I don't have a Kamadhenu. Look at this poor sage Vasishtha. He has got Kamadhenu. Then what is he? He became very upset. Now he became so upset, he forgot that he is a king. He has got so many other facilities. See, life means I have something, you don't have something. You have something else, I don't have that. Right? We all are like this. Some people are very beautiful, they may not be rich. Some people are very rich, they may not be beautiful. Some people are educated, they may not be beautiful. So we are all combination of so many things like that. The Vedic literature teaches that how to focus on what we have, not how to focus what we don't have. Because comparison is a cancer. It will kill us, and we will not even come to know that we have such a disease. Cancer is a very hidden disease, by the way. If you do not know, it keeps growing and growing. You will not even come to know until it reaches the last stage. Suddenly you will come to know. Like recently, somebody from our temple, ISKCON Bangalore temple, one of the employees, he discovered that he has got a cancer, and in the next 3 to 4 days he died. At that stage we will come to know. So this King Kaushika, he became so upset. He started comparing himself with that sage, and he started feeling bad, he felt disturbed. And now he threatened Vasishtha. Hey Vasishtha, you give that cow to me, that Nandini cow, you should give it to me, you hand over to me. Because now he is interested in that cow, he is comparing himself. Then Vasishtha said, my dear king, please don't do this mistake. Look, I need this Nandini because the Devatas have given me this for a purpose. I am not using this cow for my sense gratification. I am not keeping this cow for my own happiness. I am keeping this cow for doing Atiti Satkara, like today what I did. And I use this cow for doing yajnas, not for me. But Kaushika, because of his comparison mentality, he had lost his intelligence. And he wanted to attack Vasishtha. And then what happened? He wanted to forcefully drag and take that Nandini cow. And finally, 60,000 soldiers, they emerged, came out of Nandini cow. They fought. They actually, there was a war between the soldiers of this Kaushika and Vasishtha, because they wanted to attack Vasishtha and take the cow, but because that was not an ordinary cow, so many thousands of soldiers came out of that Nandini cow. They all killed and they defeated this King Kaushika. And when Kaushika saw this, second comparison came in his mind. And what is that comparison? Oh, look at this. I'm a king. I have a Kshatriya power. But look at this Vasishtha, he is a Brahmana and Brahmana power. So, because I don't have a Brahmana power, that is why I got defeated. See, what is the use of being a king? I don't want to be a king. I want to become a Brahmana like Vasishtha, and in that way, I will get Brahmana power and I will become equal to Vasishtha. So, like this second comparison came in the mind. See, this comparison is like this. It will never allow you to be happy. Somebody may say, Prabhu, what comparison is good? No, when we compare ourselves with somebody, we take inspiration. We get inspiration, we get motivation to do more. But actually that is not true. Comparison will never give motivation, it will never give inspiration. Inspiration comes from different things that we will discuss in some other day. But comparison will never give inspiration, it will only give dissatisfaction. It will only create so much of disturbance in our mind. Because comparison means you will never think what you have. You only think about what you don't have. That is the meaning of comparison. And so now this Kaushika Maharaj, he left his kingdom. He said, now I will do tapasya, I will get the powers like Vasishtha, and then I will also become like one sage. And then he started doing so many years of tapasya. And now you see it is not so easy because he's a king. He's supposed to do king's duty, but he is in comparison. Now what happens? Whenever there is a comparison, the result of the comparison will be unnecessary competition. Unnecessary competition. And now he wants to compete with sage Vasishtha. How many of us we do in our life? We are competing. If you are unnecessarily competing with someone else, it means you are into comparison. Now what do we do? See, with whom should I compare? Should I compare with somebody, or I should not compare at all? Yes, we should compare, but with whom? Not with someone else, with our own self. You can compare yourself with yesterday. You can compare yourself with your 1 year back, 1 month back. Okay, today I should be a better person. So for better than whom? Better than who I was yesterday, who I was 1 month back, who I was 1 year old. I must be growing. Definitely I must grow. I must improve. But the reference point for that, me, myself, the previous self, not someone else, because somebody else means their karma is good. Their situations are good, their upbringing is good, their parenting is good, their country situations are different. They're very different. So we cannot comparison means both should be the same reference point. But when you compare yourself with someone else, the reference points are totally different. The previous janmas, what they did is different. So we can never compare ourselves. Like you cannot compare a fish with some kind of a bird in the sky. You can't say, oh, look at this fish, useless fish. What is the use of this fish? It cannot fly in the sky. See, when you measure a fish by comparing with the bird in the sky, you're doing the greatest injustice to the fish. Einstein said this, a greatest intelligent scientist. He said, we should never compare ourselves with someone else. We should compare with our own abilities, our own skills, and we can keep on improving that. But not with someone else in the outside world. So now this Vishwamitra, he's comparing himself with Vasishtha, and for that he has left his kingdom, he has come to forest and is trying to do tapasya. And he did 100-year tapasya. And after 100-year tapasya, because with so much of negative competition is doing, so his heart is not really pure. So Indra sent one Rambha, Menaka, to go and disturb this Vishwamitra. And when Menaka came, and what happened? Vishwamitra lost control over himself. And he got distracted. And he forgot his so many years of tapasya. And now he started staying with Menaka. And now what happened? After like this 100 years, he got distracted. And he was then, because as a result of this, Shakuntala was born. So he got into another kind of a problem. And then again he realized, oh, what mistake I have done. I have to do my tapasya. So again he comes back. So like this, and during this time, he was so much doing competition with Vasishtha. There are many things. It's a very big story. And one instance, what happened? There was one king by name Trishanku Maharaj. And that Trishanku, he was also in the Ikshvaku dynasty, and he wanted to go to Swargaloka with his own body, the body of the material world. But actually Swargaloka condition and criteria is, you're not allowed to go to that planet with the same body. Just like, those who are going to Mars or Moon, they wear a different astro suit and they go. So you cannot go in the same body, you'll have to wear another kind of body. So like that, Swargaloka, if you're going, you will have to change your body. But he wanted to go in the same body. So then Vasishtha did not agree, because he is the one who was supposed to do yajna and help him to go to Swargaloka. He said, no, this body you cannot go, I will not help you. Then this Trishanku came to Vishwamitra. And Vishwamitra, when he came to know, Vasishtha did not help. And he thought, now let me do some competition with Vasishtha. Now I will prove, I will send this Trishanku to Swarga. In that way, I will prove Vasishtha that I am better than you. I am, in fact, I am superior to you. See, this is another problem with comparison. Comparison means we want to continuously prove somebody that I am better than you. See, we are supposed to prove to ourselves. We have to prove to our own mind, not anyone else in the outside world. It just doesn't matter what somebody else thinks. What we think about ourselves is the most important thing in our life. Vishwamitra wanted to convince and prove Vasishtha. Actually, Vasishtha is not at all bothered what Vishwamitra is doing. Vishwamitra means, I mean Kaushika Maharaj. So, whether Kaushika Maharaj is bigger than Vasishtha or is greater than Vasishtha, Vasishtha is not bothered. Vasishtha is not at all in comparison mentality. He is so elevated. But this Kaushika Maharaj or Vishwamitra is always in the comparison mentality. So, many of us I have seen in the life, so they live a life like this. First of all, they keep on comparing their life with someone else, and they keep on feeling sad about something else which they don't have, and they do not think what all blessings and great things already they have in their life, and they keep on competing, unnecessarily competing with somebody, and they will be keep on trying to prove their superiority to somebody, and all these things will never allow you to be happy in your life. They will destroy your relationships. It will destroy your peace of mind. We can see all these things from this Vishwamitra or Kaushika Maharaja's life. And in this way, he tried to do an yajna, and forcefully he was trying to send this Trishanku Maharaj to Swargaloka. But Indra became very angry. He said, this is not the etiquette. This is not the protocol. We cannot accept Trishanku like this. So Indra pushed Trishanku down. And Vishwamitra got defeated. So he became very angry now. Now what he did? He said, no, I have to somehow win in this competition. I have to show this Vasishtha that I am better than you. And how do I do that? I will use this opportunity. Somehow I will make sure that Trishanku will reach Swarga. In this way, what he did? He created one parallel heaven, parallel Swargaloka, because in the main Swargaloka, Indra is not allowing. So he created another Swargaloka by using all his tapashakti. See, hundreds and thousands of years he did tapasya to earn tapashakti to become equal to Vasishtha. Now he is using all that tapashakti unnecessarily just to prove Indra and Vasishtha that I am better than Vasishtha. So he created one parallel universe, parallel Swargaloka, and made this Trishanku go there. So in this way, many of us, what we do is we use, just like Vishwamitra used his precious tapashakti just to prove Vasishtha that I am better than you by sending Trishanku to Swarga. Many of us, we will be using our precious time, precious energy, precious life just to prove somebody that I am better than you. Right? Many people do this. Don't fall into this trap. This is a cancer of the mind. We should be very careful. So Vishwamitra did, and he lost all his tapashakti, and now what happened? He came back to now zero. Again now, because the tapasya account became zero. All that punya, tapashakti which he had earned, now that is used for building parallel heaven for Trishanku. So in again like this, he was getting defeated. So finally, when he did so much of tapasya, finally when Brahma comes and gives him that realization, I'm sorry, when he gives that realization, then finally one day Vishwamitra stops that competition mentality. When he stops that competition mentality, when he becomes pure in his heart, so Ramayana teaches that is when he becomes a Mahatma, great personality. And that is when he gets an opportunity to become part of Ramayana, Rama Leela, and become part of Rama's so many pastimes, like taking Rama to the forest and killing Tataka and killing this Subahu. And finally it is Vishwamitra who takes Rama to Mithila and becomes an instrument in marrying Rama and Sita. When he stops this demoniac quality called comparison mentality. Finally, Vishwamitra and Vasishtha both come together in order to serve Lord Rama. They agree on the similar points to serve Lord Rama. So similarly, in our life, we should explore. We should go into our mind and see: are we also unknowingly or knowingly, having this comparison mentality? And we should go in front of Lord Rama during this Dasara Navratri. Pray to Lord Ram, hey, my dear Lord, your supreme Lord, let me follow the footsteps of Vishwamitra. What is that? How he gave up his mentality, comparison mentality. I also wish to give up my mentality, comparison mentality. If you please bless me, I will learn to be peaceful. You should compare yourself with yourself. Yesterday how I was, today I am, I should be better than that. That is called self-excellence. I should excel myself. Not I have to defeat and I should become better than somebody else in the outside world. I should become better than my own self yesterday, right? If at all you want to compare, you compare yourself with who you are yesterday, not with somebody else. That will be a great injustice. It is such a big unhealthy things to do. So with this, we come to the conclusion of today's talk, how Vishwamitra was actually victim of this comparison mentality in the beginning, but later by getting out of it, by getting rid of this comparison mentality, he became a great personality called Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra Priyadhana Rama. We sing this. Lord Ram was so dear to Vishwamitra, and Vishwamitra was so dear to Lord Ram. And many of you might be aware, we sing Suprabhata in many temples. Kausalya Supraja Rama Purva Sandhya Pravartate Uttishta Narashardula. This famous Suprabhata was given by Vishwamitra. He is the one who recited the Suprabhata to Lord Rama. Kausalya Supraja Rama. Hey, son of Kausalya, please wake up and please do your duty. So this Vishwamitra spoke. Just see how great person he became. That is because he gave up this comparison mentality. From comparison mentality, he was a Kaushika, and when he stopped that comparison mentality, he became a Vishwamitra. I hope and I pray to Lord Ram that may Lord Ram, Sita, Lakshman, Hanuman and Srila Prabhupada bless all of us in this Navratri to stop this demonic quality within us, comparison mentality. Let us all develop the content mentality. Content means I am happy and satisfied with whatever I have in my life. If at all I compare with my own self and improve myself, which is called self-excellence. Thank you very much. Please comment in the chat or in the comment section how you are feeling about these sessions, what kind of more topics you want me to cover tomorrow or day after tomorrow, and did you learn anything in today's, what did you learn? All those things please let us know so that we'll get to know how you are all feeling. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.